destroyed our land. Give us a treaty. We want a treaty in this country. You want a genocide of us. This is not your land. This is not your land. You are not my king. You are not our king.
This is Micah 2 and 4. In that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with a doleful lamentation, and say, We be utterly spoiled. He hath changed the portion of my people. How hath he removed it from me? Turning away, he hath divided our fields. Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yashai, Bashem Rakabardash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who are the house of David reborn again in this generation. And shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the downfall of the Edomite Empire. And what we just watched right now is a video of that taking place. You see, what we just watched is I believe she's an Australian senator. Her name's Lydia Thorpe. She's basically a native Australian. Basically would make her one of the children of Japheth, right? She would be a Japhite, okay? And these people ultimately were conquered by these Edomites under the English Empire when the English Empire, had spread around the world and conquered a lot of lands, also Australia. Well, what that lady did is literally what is being spoken of right here in this prophecy that Micah wrote, prophesied about, that in the end days, right? That's what that day is talking about, the end days, that people would basically start to speak against the status quo, right? The people in power, right? And basically bring up their grievances. And that lady, when you hear what she said, it says, You are not our king, you are not sovereign, you are not our king, you are not sovereign. You committed genocide against our people. Give us our land back. Give us what you stole from us, our bones, our skulls, our babies, our people. You destroyed our land. Give us a treaty. We want a treaty in this country. You are genocidalist. This is not your land. This is not your land. You are not my king. You are not our king. Fuck the colony. Fuck the colony. Fuck the colony. Okay? That's what this lady talked about. Okay? And that's a lamentation. Okay? That she brought up all the things about how her people were utterly spoiled. All right? When you look at the genocide of the native Australian, or should I say the native Japhites that had inhabited the land of Australia, then it's pretty devastating, right? Remember, it wasn't only us Israelites that these Edomites went in and destroyed, right? These Edomites are the hammer of the earth, as the Bible calls them, okay? They are the Lord's weapon, or his sword, that he brings judgment upon all the peoples of the world. Now, that being said, like that lady was calling for, she was calling for a treaty. Why? Well, because these Edomites had changed the portion of her people, right? They had taken their land and they taken their sovereign rights, and they basically remove from them what they had for themselves. Okay? And that's ultimately what's going on. So this is prophecy literally playing out in front of our eyes. This is the Edomite Empire falling, starting to crumble. Okay? And it's not only just the natives of the lands that were once conquered that are standing up to the people, or should I say standing up to the kings, the nobles, and whatnot, but it's also their own people, their own Edomites that are standing up against them.
So I'm outside the Australian Federal Parliament in Canberra. We're staging a small but symbolic protest against the monarchy as British Republicans, but also joined by Australian Republicans, including Women for Australian Republic. And we're campaigning to raise awareness both here in Australia and Britain of the campaign, to talk to Australians about how awful the British monarchy is and why it needs to be abolished, and to talk to British press about the growth of the Republican movement, the fact that we can do this now, we can follow Charles wherever he goes, protest wherever he goes, and make our voice heard.
So you see there, you even have what at least appears to be fellow Edomites calling for the taking down of their own king. Okay, there's a very popular movement ever since Charles came into power. Just because especially all the abominable filth that this guy's been involved in, and also just the revealing how he's behind the whole impetus of the World Economic Forum being created and the 2030 agenda, which is what it's now called, being initiated. That devil is basically behind all of it. It's not only just him, by the way, it's going to be a lot of the other Edomite kings around the world, the top bankers, the other top Edomites that control, vast portions of the world, the 1% of the 1%. Basically, these top Edomites that control the world are in cahoots with King Charles to bring forward the depopulation agenda, the microchipping agenda, basically the agenda to take over the world and ultimately fight against God when he comes back. And why is that? Well, because you see, these Edomites, they believe that their houses shall continue forever. They also understand that they're not the descendants of Jacob, but the descendants of Esau that came back in the reincarnation, from Cain's line. They understand that they descend from Cain. But these devils are literally the devils of the Bible. These are the descendants of Esau, the evil twin brother of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Now, Esau was promised to live off the fatness of the world and to live by his sword, and ultimately that he would have dominion until the Lord returned, okay? Or he would be in rulership when the time of the second coming would come at last. And that's what's happening right now. These devils, through the will of the Lord, have managed to get into power and stay in power, ever since the time of the Renaissance. And before that, they came into power during the time of Alexander the Macedonian, who basically continued the Edomite conquest of the known world all the way up until, for the most part, the time of the Romans around 200 to about 400 AD, when the Israelites had taken over Rome, right? We know this as the Black Romans, who then later on created the Europe that we know today, which the Edomites, after fleeing up into the Caucasus Mountains around 200, 400 AD, stayed there for 1,000 years, as it tells us in Revelation that Satan would be, locked up for 1,000 years, then he would be released for a little while. Well, the Renaissance happened, and that's the little while that they are now released. And these devils are about to go into captivity, right? Their kingdom is falling around them, and they are doing everything they can to maintain that power. This is why you're seeing things done so hastily, so abruptly, and so shoddily. Okay, this is why a lot of their plans are failing, because they're not executing things like they used to, right? Their planned events, agendas, and whatnot just aren't working like they used to. And why is that? Well, it tells you here. This is Isaiah 14:5. Yahweh Bashem Yashai hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. All right, the staff of the wicked is ultimately their strength, their power, basically the Hollywood magic that used to get people to believe these devils' lies, all the things that gave these people that spirit of authority, right? Or a spirit of just being in power. That's what that represents. And the scepter of the rulers is ultimately the rulership, right? People no longer see these Edomites as the rulers. And you kind of see this now when you see all these Karen videos, right? Where they come over and they start asking people all these questions. And people are talking back to them now, right? Asking them, who are you to ask us what we're doing, right? Who are you to think that we have to answer to you? See, that's the thing. These Edomite devils, in their spirit, they have that spirit that they are the rulers. They're the ones that people have to, answer to, right? But the thing is that now the Lord has broken that spiritual power, right? He's broken the scepter of the rulers, and the spirit of rulership that they had no longer is there. People no longer see them as the rulers. People are starting to see them as the problem, okay? And what is that causing? Well, that's causing this prophecy to play out. The second Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're literally seeing the scripture play out, right? The people of the world are no longer following the status quo. People are looking to the supposed leaders that are in place and basically seeking the validity of their sovereignty, right? Asking, why are you in rulership, right? Like the guy there in that yellow shirt said, right? They want to abolish the monarchy. This is Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed the bounds of that he cannot pass. And that's what it all comes down to. I remember there was a video that Apostle Tahar made months back, basically just stating it very plainly that these devils only have months left, be it 2 months or 50 months, whatever. But the point being is that their days are numbered. Consider that, Akim. There is a day set in the heavens, which only the Father knows, that these devils are going to be allowed to rule. When that day comes, then it's all going to be over. And what we're seeing now is the destruction and the downfall of their power structure, right? We already seen the Lord making moves against these Edomites in the spirit. And pretty soon it's going to be happening in the material. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Once this empire of the Edomites is taken down, Akim, that's when the kingdom of the Israelites will commence. And from that point on, it's going to be heaven on earth for us Israelites, and eventually after 1,000 years, heaven on earth for the other nations. Though they're going to be serving the Lord and the Israelites, it's going to be a righteous rulership where everybody is going to be in a good condition. Okay, there's going to be no more war, corruption, sickness, and whatnot. It's going to be beautiful. And we're going to get there once we're done with these devils' empire. So hopefully this video is edifying, Akim. Until the next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshai B'Hashem Rukok Radash. Shalom.